Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of OAF Discussions. I'm your host, Kid Swift. With me as always, Mr. Brent.
Doing it for the culture today.
Yeah.
Shayna.
Just be honest, all these girls look like a Build-A-Bay.
And Webb.
It looked like he died, and it's like, well, I don't care.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of OAF Discussions. I'm your host, Kid Swift, the man with the gift to hear uplift. Always on time and never switching shifts. With me, as always, is the Dashiki Don Dada, Mr. Brent.
I got a new one today. Came out fresh for this one.
Right. So welcome, guys. This is technically our 100th episode in number, not in spirit, because everybody decided to ditch us. Webb's got a family reunion.
Shayna's doing motherly things.
Shayna's got a baby.
Jacob is out.
Jacob's in Vietnam,
traveling the world.
Right? Yeah. Everybody's all over the place. So, yeah. So this is gonna be a pretty simple, straightforward episode. I want to save a lot of the music stuff.
We're gonna do 100.5. Bump this. We're gonna do 100.5.
Oh no, yeah, we absolutely. This is really like the 100th episode asterisk or like
90
semicolon E3.
99.5.
That, like, I almost did that. Like, in all honesty, I was gonna text you guys and be like, hey, would you guys just like to like record, like, not even record the 100th episode and just say fuck it until Webb gets back? But here we are. We still want to give you guys something to listen to.
We're just gonna call this.
There was a lot of stuff that happened. 99.9. There was a lot of stuff that happened though, and specifically, we've been going hard on the music. But in this episode, I feel like we need to go back to our roots, since
Let's talk about it.
Which we started this thing based on gaming and nerd culture stuff and music, of course, as well. But E3 was this week, and there was 1,000 things that happened. It was one of the best
overall?
E3s I think in a while, to be honest. And I think it's because everybody's kind of firing on all cylinders. Like PlayStation's they've got the lead clearly. They're pretty much running on into the finish line of this generation. Xbox is not really. They've gotten to the point where they're like, we're just gonna stay in our lane, do our thing, and keep just trying to come out with good stuff and giving you guys the things that make you love Xbox, because they know they're not going to catch them this generation. And then Nintendo's come out, and Nintendo's been on a roll with the Switch since it dropped.
Nintendo, I think, won E3. Xbox was close.
Yeah, they were good.
Do I feel this was like the greatest E3? No.
Right. Yeah, me neither.
But I feel like it delivered on like those before we knew E3 was coming up. PlayStation was like, we rolled out the red carpet for these 4.
Yeah.
And then they sprinkled in some other stuff. But if you wanted those 4, it delivered on those 4 games.
Yeah.
Xbox surprised me because Xbox was running with the leak of Walmart, with Canada Walmart or whatever.
That and Bethesda had to deal with that.
Yeah. So they were like, is Borderlands 3 gonna come out? Is Rage? Is Halo 6? Is Gears 5?
Yeah.
Forza whatever. Forza 9. Like, so it got interesting because it was like, all right, so how many of these are real leaks and how many of these are just like they put a placeholder or somebody was BSing or whatever.
Right. Absolutely.
So when you found out, like, or no. Let me speak for myself.
Yeah, go ahead. Because after you finish, what we're gonna do, just to give everybody a heads up, just so they can kind of know what's coming. What I want to do is kind of structure it as from conference to conference after you say what you're about to say, and then we're gonna kind of like build from there and go through.
I can wait.
Are you
sure?
sure?
Wait we do a conference by conference. Yeah.
Okay. I don't want
E3
you.
overall
Yeah.
was cool, man.
I didn't really.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed. I enjoyed most of everything. The only thing I can say that I outright didn't enjoy was Square Enix. Like, that was the worst thing I've seen.
What the hell? What did they do?
Kingdom
Hearts?
It was like it was like 20 minutes. They showed Kingdom Hearts, and
that was it.
I feel like that was it.
I don't know anything else they
like
did.
It was really. I mean, I mean, obviously, all the Final Fantasy they make the
they're doing the remake, so
yeah. Well, yeah, they Final Fantasy 7, which wasn't there. Obviously, they make the Deus Ex games. They obviously make the they're over the oh gosh, I think they're the publisher of the Tomb Raider games.
That already just came out.
Yeah, well, the new one's coming out. So,
okay, yeah.
So first and foremost, was EA's conference, and that was how we got started. And of course, they got started first. They were on Saturday. Did you get to see their conference?
I seen the highlights of the conference.
Right,
yes,
which was the best parts because
I didn't even drive notes.
Because it's funny because you always know going into EA because EA's always been the company that usually catches the most shit. Some of that deserved, some of that undeserved. You always know you're gonna at least get your Madden, your NBA, your FIFA. You know you're gonna get your sports games in there, so you know that's coming. And then of course the other big things that you're hoping to see as well. Yeah.
Can I start us off?
Absolutely.
So the two things that stuck out to me when it came to EA's was, you got your Madden, Battlefield showing off their Battle Royale. Yeah. I just wanted to get a sense of what that new Battlefield 5 Battle Royale. I wanted to get a sense of that. Yeah. That looks like really good. Battlefield 3 again. Yeah. Where you could like run through a building, like where those games are just so like every game could be a potential story. Yeah. Like
every match.
It could be that water cooler moment. Like, hey, we were hiding and a dude ran through the building with a tank, so we all jumped out and through C4. Like, you have these like over the top movie magic moments. Yeah. That I hate to say it, but Battlefield creates. Like, especially Battlefield creates because of the style, the slower pace, and mechanics of the game. Right. With destructible environment.
Absolutely.
That one stuck out, and I know I'm gonna leave the last one for you. Unravel 2 was announced.
Yeah, it looked good.
It looked really good. Yeah. And I actually want to buy it because I was like, it's 2 players.
Absolutely.
It's co-op. It looked like it had some fun puzzle mechanics, also with like real physics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because for those who don't know, Unravel is about Yarnies who are trying to what are they trying to do?
They're basically trying to make it home. Yeah. Okay. And they're in this one, in the last one, they had like the yarn had like it was like in basically injected with like magical power, but in this one, like when it starts, the whole thing is you get cut off from the yarn, which is basically his source of like magic, and he basically teams up with this new yarn character, and that kind of is the driving force. And they're like, well, we can team up and hopefully make it home, make it where we're trying to get to.
Got you.
It's one of those things that always is really funny, and I saw a lot of people comment on it. Like, everybody was like all smiles because every time those like independent developers, because they had 2 of their indies, this of course, which was their big one from last time. And then the new one, which I forgot, I think it's Under the Sea. I forgot it's like Blue Sea or something like that. But the developers are always so like genuine and nervous, and they're just, you can tell they're just trying to like convey how much they love making the game, and also like try to like get that across. And it usually comes across really nice. And then of course with something like Unraveled, you can see that in the game as well, because I mean it's literally a feel good game, but it is one that you have to have some like skill in order to get through, and it's gorgeous. It looks really good.
I was surprised how the mechanics of it got me. That was a game I was like, you know what, I will probably buy it. It's only $20. It's out. Like, and I love when they do like,
it's out now.
Check out this game, and you could buy it right freaking now.
Right. Yeah.
So you got me hyped. Like, you know what? I'm about to buy it.
Right. Absolutely. Like, you got me already.
So you made a great point, and I think it's with any developer, and when they finally like release that, like show the world that game, like these people have been tucked away for potentially years.
Yeah.
Creating something in silence, like creating something.
Right.
And then for what could be 3 minutes, 5 minutes.
Right.
They got to convey every bit of blood, sweat, tears, sacrifice that they've had over those years. And when you hope you love the thing that they made.
Yeah.
Because they made it out of love. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Their labor of love. So that's, you know, when I look at it now, I'm kind of genuinely happy for when those, like, even when there's an awkward person up there on stage and it's like, oh man, you're dying up there, but it's like, yo,
it's genuine.
It's genuine. Like,
yeah,
yo,
absolutely.
You don't know the right words to say, but
yeah, it's really nice. It is. It's really nice. But yeah, they're doing pretty good. I like what they're doing with their indie program at EA because it's
true.
It's nice to see those very small games on that big of a stage.
True.
And
let me ask you.
Stuff. Yeah, what's up?
Let me ask you. What was the game for EA's? Mm-hmm. What was that game that stood out for you?
I mean, I'd say the indie ones, those two were the ones that I would say, I won't use the word stood out, even though it could work, but I'll say those are the ones that surprised me.
Okay.
Now, Battlefield, from that first trailer, after seeing that very first trailer that they released right before E3, I was like, just sell it to me. I'll buy it. Because it got across like what you said in that first trailer, and then what they showed again at E3, which is just these epic water cooler moments in a multiplayer match. Like, we're not even talking about the single player, which is literally vignette, crazy, awesome moments.
And there's women.
Yeah, right. Yeah, which I love what the EA
women.
What the developer came out and said. That was great, where he said, if you got a problem with women in our Battlefield game, then just don't buy the fucking game. Like, fuck off.
Yo, that right there, I was like,
yeah, he's just
I'm gonna buy this Battlefield game, not just because there's women in there, but I do like that they're trying to change the narrative. Like,
and they're always trying to tell different stories about characters you never think about. Like, when you think about World War II, you think about D-Day, and then you go on from there. Like, you don't think about all the different countries and all the different, like, locations. Yeah, the locations.
Spy moments.
Yeah, the locations you don't think about. So it's going to be, it seems like it's going to be great. And what you were talking about, one of the things that I think lends best, that seems, now I haven't obviously had a chance to play it yet, but what seems is going to lend itself to those kind of like big water cooler moments is it seems like the movement and the combat are a lot more fluid. Because I know they were talking about in some of the stuff. Yeah, because they were talking about on the showing some of the behind the scenes stuff when they did the extended preview after the actual show, where they were talking about how, like, yeah, you can run, sprint, jump, burst through a window, tuck and roll, dive into a vehicle, run through a house, through the front of the house, jump out of that, blow the house. Like, it's just like, it seems like a constant momentum.
Dying like parkour. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, it did.
Dying like parkour, not Call of Duty speed,
right?
But like a little bit slower.
Yeah,
like Dying Light parkour.
Yeah,
for anybody out there who is trying to get a sense of the speed, if you haven't seen it,
it looks.
What'd
great.
you think of? Yeah, it does look great. But another game that looked great.
What was that?
Anthem.
Yes, and it was really funny because I watch and Webb watches them too. There's a group of guys called Super Best Friends out of Montreal that I love their stuff, and they're really funny. And one of the guys, Pat, he usually they stream all the conferences together, but this year they did like some of them separate, and then they did like a few of the big ones like Ubisoft and everything together. So this one, since it was on Saturday, he did it by himself, and it was so funny to see his reaction because he's a very trying to think of how to say it, like a very skeptical and very like, I'll believe it when I see it type person. So he was actually just like going in on Anthem and stuff. But it was funny watching that and laughing at him, but then watching Anthem and being like, this shit looks like exactly what I want.
I get to be Iron Man.
Yeah, right. I get to be Iron Man, but I get to be Iron Man with a group of friends in this insane, big-ass open world.
Iron Mans.
Right, Iron Mans.
Iron Mans.
And then the thing that tripped me out on that was when they showed off the new Javelin suit.
Oh yeah.
The quick one, the one that's like really slim.
Mm-hmm.
That looks awesome, and I'm waiting to see more. I sent you guys that awesome little thing that Game Informer did, like those 120 like rapid fire question interview things that are really good.
I gotta watch. I'm gonna watch that.
When you get a chance, check it. One, it's hilarious. Two, it's has some good information in it. But just seeing, because this is the first new BioWare IP in a decade or more.
No.
Yes.
Well, new. Yes.
It'd have been since the beginning of Dragon Age.
Yeah, in Mass Effect.
Right. Well, yeah. Which of course that's been 15 years.
Yeah, I forgot they would. Yeah, because they had sequels.
Yeah, but seeing this and seeing what they do with a large scale open world and hearing them talk about kind of how the story is going to be, where the story really for each one of the people is going to really take place in like those hub cities. And then that's where you get to do like your BioWare, like conversation choices and kind of like influencing characters and stuff like that. But then when you come out of that, that's when you kind of like it did in the first trailer we saw last year, where like your buddies like hero dropped in and then you flew off and started the missions. So it's going to be interesting how they're going to balance that, where like when you're in the cities, it's just you and your character. Then when you go out into the world, then you can like your buddies can hop in with you, and then you can go nuts and complete the missions and stuff. And then the walker thing is the other thing that serves as like your mobile base. That's the big thing we saw. Yeah.
Here's my only worry with Anthem.
Yeah.
This is why I haven't fully like went off the handle like and was like all in yet on Anthem. I don't want it to be I don't want it to be Destiny.
Right. Absolutely.
Right? Because Destiny's doing from my eye test, Destiny's doing bad.
Right. Yeah. We're
right
now. Yeah.
Like they didn't really ever, live up to their promise. Every time we play Destiny, I end up falling asleep. Like it just doesn't move me. The story doesn't keep me connected.
Right.
Like I don't want it to be Destiny. So when people are like, "Oh, it's gonna be the Destiny killer," no, find a new path.
Yeah, it's like I need
and
you to be
also,
better than that.
I need to know like how fluid this game's gonna be. Because it looks nice.
Yeah.
And it looks cool when you like shoot the missiles and some of the combat.
Yeah.
But there's weather systems. There's a whole lot more to this game that I need to know that it's not going to be Mass Effect Armada. Is that right? No, Andromeda.
Andromeda, yeah.
It's not going to be that where it's like, oh, a couple of the places look really nice. And then you go to some random worlds and it's like, who brought back 16-bit who brought back 16-bit landscape and stuff. Right. So I'm gonna wait. I'm holding off on being like, yep, I'm completely sold.
Yeah.
They gotta prove to me that hey,
yeah,
we still got the juice.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make this great.
Absolutely. And it's gonna be one of those things like where we kind of see how big the world is.
Yeah.
Now from listening to that interview, when you get a chance to look at it too, it was interesting listening to the creative director kind of talk about like how the end game, because they were kind of like poking and prodding him, kind of see like, because obviously those comparisons have been coming where it's being compared to Destiny or other kind of things like that, and it's like, what's your end game gonna be like? How are you gonna keep people coming? And the way he was kind of like going about it, there was one interesting thing he said, because those storms, at the end of last year's demo, they kind of like were talking, and then like this big crazy like electrical storm was like tearing up shit. And then they kind of looked at it like the characters were like, okay. And then they like jumped up and flew into it.
Yeah.
To me, it seems like, and from seeing that and then from listening to what the creative director was talking about, he was kind of talking about how like they can influence and change and have like events drastically shift the game world for you and your friends you're playing with. So what I'm wondering is if like these massive, like those are like kind of like their raid dungeon system are a part of it. And then those storms will drastically alter the actual game map and then shift like enemies to different locations, bosses to different locations, that kind of stuff, where it's not only the fact of hey, we can go like on Destiny where you like fly to the world and then you have like so big of a map or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We know this is going to be one giant, huge open like space. It's not going to be like getting a ship and fly to a place and it's a hiding a loading screen. Like it's going to be one big open piece. So it's going to be interesting to see how they can make one, how big it is, how expansive it is, how much depth it is, because obviously we know you can fly underwater, you can fly crazy high in the air. I remember hearing like him talk about it in that interview, like the depth and everything. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they can, one, after how big the world is initially to keep the player engaged and everything, and then after the end game, how the world can be changed or shifted, or how enemies can interact and change their behaviors in order to keep it fresh and keep people playing for hours and hours and hours. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So it's going to be really interesting because basically the javelins, because you're going to have your character that you make, and then the javelins are pretty much just like classes, like in any other type of game. And then of course they said like when you go out in the world and you're doing these missions and everything, you'll find loot and parts and stuff, and everything from paint jobs and shit like that to like change. Like I want this 10 rocket launcher and this minigun, or on my heavy one, and then I want the light one to have this laser gun and this fucking like crazy speed boost or something like that. So it's gonna be interesting to like mix and match parts and find loot and upgrade the javelins to like make them perform how you want to, and have multiple of them to be like, okay, you're gonna run the heavy, well I'm gonna run the small javelin, or I'm gonna run the multi-purpose one, or I'm gonna run such and such, the ghost one or whatever it is.
It should be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it looks promising so far, so it's gonna be interesting to see how they do it. But with that being said, EA next up, of course, like we were talking about when we first started, was good old Microsoft, and I enjoyed Microsoft. And of course that wasn't Microsoft the same day. That was Microsoft that would have been on Sunday.
Okay, because I was like, we had Square.
Microsoft was all it was on Saturday, and then of course Sunday was Microsoft, Bethesda, and Devolver Digital.
Square Enix.
Square was Monday. That was Monday was Square, UB, PC, and Sony, and then Tuesday, of course, was Nintendo.
Okay, I got my dates off. All right, my bad.
But yeah, so with Sunday, Microsoft, what'd you think?
All right, so Microsoft. I'm just gonna run through what all they showed.
Now, did you watch it? Because I was gonna.
Yes.
Okay. What do you think about opening with that? And we know what that is, of course, now, which is a new Halo. We don't know what the we have no clue. It could be like ODST. It could be like Reach. I'm thinking it's probably gonna be more like Reach, but just with Master Chief. Wars. But
I mean, it looked like Halo Wars.
See, that's what I was thinking, but there's no way they would do that. Like they know if they did that and then they announced it was like a turn-based strategy, people would be like, all right, motherfucker, look. We want regular Halo.
I was actually surprised they let off with it.
Yeah, me too.
But when I think about it,
I mean the ending though.
Xbox is Halo. Halo is Xbox.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like no matter how you want to cut it, Halo is Xbox. So they dropped the Halo Infinite. Mm-hmm. So that got announced. I liked how it ended with you looking at possibly Master Chief's helmet off.
Yeah.
Or him before he's like, it's time to put some boots on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Before he's ready to ready up.
And the thing was, I don't know if you noticed, but that was the thing that a lot of people were freaking out, especially like a lot of big like Halo fans. The art style, the location, and everything was very like Halo 1.
Blood Coach.
Yeah, like it. Yeah, it was like that was original. Like not like graphics quality, but like the design was like the original.
It was interesting.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what the fuck it is.
If I get to be an Arbiter again, if I get to play as one of the aliens, the Arbiters,
it'd be so nice.
I'll buy that game.
Yeah, I hope.
Because I don't want to play as Master Chief. I want to play as Arbiter. Like it's just that simple.
Yeah.
And then you had let's see, Sekiro.
Oh yeah, the new game from Software.
Sekiro. Yeah, Shadow Die Twice launching.
Yep.
That's 2019. You had Metro Exodus,
which looks awesome every time they show it.
it
I don't know if you played the
does.
original ones.
I didn't. I
They're
know about
really
it. I've
good.
seen the game. I
Yeah.
like that this one's out of the sewers or out of like the
It's like
grimy
above ground.
dungeon.
Yeah, it seems
Now
like
this
it's
is like,
above ground more.
yeah, I'm liking that because the color was like it was very.
I was drab.
Yeah, and I don't really want to play too many games. Like only games I can play like that are like Dark Souls now or Demon Souls, stuff like that. Because
Right.
I know that world is already like desolate.
Yeah.
A dystopia. You know what I'm saying? Like I already know it's down and trodden and everything like that.
Right.
And I'm there to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Kick ass. Yep.
And most of the time when I start up the game, I'm all out of bubblegum. But
Yep.
And then you had Microsoft acquires the 5 studios.
Yeah, which that's been rumored for a while because it's rumored that Playground Games might be the ones that they eventually give the Fable franchise to after they finish making these amazing fucking racing games.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was cool to see because it's been kind of a long time coming thing, and it's good for them to finally announce it.
Now talking racing games out in October, Forza Horizon 4.
It looks so good.
How do you feel?
It looks. It always looks great. I mean, it's great. It's great. I've got 3 now. It's always like, I mean,
Forza doesn't let you down.
It's perfect. Yeah, like they do so well with those, especially the Horizon ones are always the ones that are a little bit more lighthearted, a little less like serious about the whole. I mean,
they're more arcade, right?
Yeah, they're a little bit more arcade. There's still a lot of depth to them, but there's of course way more depth in the just like the mainline Forzas, which
Forza
those are
sports.
those are more in line with like something like Gran Turismo. As far as like
Sims.
exactly. They're more Sims. But Horizon's the one that's more arcadey. You're like switching between vehicles. Now, like the racetracks are like so fluid between locations and stuff like that, and it's really good.
One thing I do like about Forza Horizon is that just like line or series of Forza games is when you're on a track, like the different landscapes that you can transition through, like during a course. I really like that. Like I can watch somebody race on there just because the scenery and background is so like lush and believable and like it's so detailed. It looks legit. Like you're watching a movie, or as if you were. If you put it in first person, you could honestly for a moment believe you were really going down a highway or really going down a path. Like
absolutely,
like you could almost smell it. You can almost smell the air.
You could smell the grass. You could smell the trees and everything and all that good stuff. Yeah, it's ridiculous how well they do that.
Then we have the Division 2.
Yeah, was that first shown on Xbox stage?
It has what I'm looking at has it for.
Oh, that's right. They did. Yeah, they did. They showed part of the whole thing. Yeah. I love
sold on and waiting.
The location.
DC?
Yeah, because here was the thing. There was. It wasn't really a rumor, but I heard a couple people predicting that they might take it overseas to like London or something like that. So this is in architecture kind of similar. But the thing that I really like is because we were in, which I love. That's one of my favorite gaming locations, probably of all time. Is that the way they did New York, how dense it felt. I love that in that first game. But you were constantly in the cold, snow. It just felt like winter while you were playing that game. So that's why I always like to play it around that time. But what I like about this one is it's in the summertime, so it's going to be a lot brighter and
that'd be nice.
A lot more sunny on a regular basis. And it's going to be interesting to see that with the contrast of this insane, like basically the sickness is pretty much died off as far as like the virus. But now we're like, okay, but still the government is completely nullified. The police force is completely nullified. Like now we need to build this shit back up and fix what this sickness completely fucking destroyed. So that's really nice. And what they're doing as far as like changing the location was a huge step because I was worried they were going to do New York and just be like, hey, we made it a little bit bigger. And I'd be like, that's not fucking sequel. That's just DLC. But by them, one, doing that, two, they've improved a lot of the stuff, just like quality of life stuff with like the menus and everything that I've seen looks really good. A lot of the post game stuff, adding raids, adding 8-player raids, adding large scale stuff like that is great.
They need that.
And then also the post game thing of being able to specialize in like certain weapon types, whether it be like long range snipers, like the heavy grenade launcher, the basically what is pretty much a torque bow, the explosive crossbow.
It is a explosive crossbow.
Yeah,
I will be using that.
Like
I
it's great. Like those kind of things are exactly what I think this franchise needs, and I'm honestly really excited for it. I'm totally down again. I still play the old one because I have all the DLC because I got them on sale for like stupid cheap. Yeah. So I still go back to that one, and I'm still like, yeah, like this still feels really good as a tactical co-op game. And I'm excited to do the same thing with this one. And knowing going in that it seems like at least that they've listened to a lot of the post-game gripes that people had with the first one, and they're going ahead like from the jump, like literally in the first trailer, like, no, raids are coming from the jump. All the DLC's free. The only thing, if you want to buy, we'll have some cosmetic stuff. Like that was another interesting theme that we'll talk about probably more, that bled throughout pretty much every conference through all of E3. Pretty much paid DLC almost got nullified completely this year. Like everybody who like normally was like, yeah, we've got this, and then post-launch will be this, this, and this. Like everybody has been like, yeah, post-launch will be this, this, and this, but it's all fucking free. And the only thing you'll have to pay for if you want to is we'll have some nice hats. Which that's the way it should be, but it's gonna be interesting because a lot of people are like
people are burnt out.
Yeah, people are burnt out,
and they got burnt. On it.
And a lot of the developers they know they're walking on eggshells when it comes after that whole loot box controversy with Battlefront 2. So they're like, we're not even gonna fucking touch it because that'll immediately put us in a negative conversation if we even like touch anything. So they immediately are just like, nope, everything's free. If you want some hats, you can buy some hats. That's it. Fucking play the game, please. So I'm like, that's great to me because one, what that does is that gives everybody access to all the content, the raids and everything. That doesn't compartmentalize your community. So that way, if it's me, you, and Jake, or me, you, Jake, and Webb, if he gets it, are playing online and we need to find 4 more people, that ups our chances of finding 4 more people because all the shit's going to be free. So that just makes it much better on everybody. So I'm down. I'm totally down with it. I'm very interested to see what they do. I'm interested how the story goes because being in Washington, that's like, I mean, you could do all kinds of stuff. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'd love for him to take it like crazy and like the main boss is like the president just like lost it or something.
Oh, goodness.
Like the president just like took the Secret Service and like, fuck it, we're just gonna be like assholes. Like,
you know, like, it ain't gonna be the president. We're gonna be saving some president.
You already know. Like
it would be an interesting like
switch it up because here's the thing that I assume is gonna happen. You're probably gonna go through the whole thing and be like, everything's in disarray. None of the all the government's gone. The president's dead or whatever, or hidden somewhere, or the vice president's gone or whatever. And then probably what you're going to do is you're going to find out the president's still alive and he's being held hostage by the big bad and you have to go get him or some shit. I bet you that's how the story goes. That
sounds like a legit story.
Like I'm totally fine with that. But I would like it better if it turned out like the bad was actually like somebody at the top, like was just like it got bad, it went to shit, and we had to go bad with it, which would be cool. That'd be I would like that. That would be fun. Yeah. But yeah, I'm totally down. I'm definitely down again. I really like that franchise. There was some stuff they needed to fix, but I mean overall I had a blast, and they did a really good job in world design. I'm interested to see what happens with the Dark Zone. How are they going to do the Dark Zone this time? Where is it going to be at? Is it going to be like in Washington Square? Like, where are you going to put the Dark Zone at? Like,
that's going to get crazy.
That's going to be really interesting. See that? Well, Well, what they could do is either something like, or like right around like the Washington Monument, where you've got like that
True.
big open field. That would be crazy.
Yeah, that could get bananas.
Yeah, that'd be
Now,
cool. Yeah.
Microsoft wasn't finished with that.
Oh God, no.
Like, do
That was
you
just getting started.
realize they dropped Dying Light 2, Devil May Cry 5, Gears of War 5. No, yeah,
Gears of War Funko.
yeah. Gears of War
so funny.
Funko.
That was great because that was such a good like sleight of hand thing to be like, here's the new Gears game, and it's a Funko Pop busting through the wall, and you're like,
Yeah.
what is this? And it just says mobile, Android, and iPhone. You're like, what was that? And then all of a sudden, then the blue logo pops out. I was like, oh yes.
So they got the Funko, and then they dropped a real Gears of War.
Yeah. Following Kate.
Yeah.
Stories focus on Kate. I assume at the beginning what we saw was, what's his name from the one we're playing now? The main character. Shit.
I don't remember his name. I'm calling him Chris. That's not his name, but I'm calling him Chris. Marcus's son.
See, the only thing is, I thought that at first I was like, that's probably Marcus's son that was dead underneath that sheet. But
No, he's in it.
But Marcus, yeah, I was about to say Marcus wasn't reacting the way.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Why is his son's arm missing?
Where?
Marcus's son's arm missing. He's got like a mechanical arm.
I don't know. Maybe something happened in between this one and the.
I need to finish beating Gears 4.
Yeah, I know, right?
Now, Gears 5 dropped. That got me hyped.
Yeah, that was
because
great. That was really good.
I like Gears over Halo, just for me.
Yeah.
It resonates with me, even though it's like over the top, bros of games, you know. And then you had the sleeper, which became the sensation.
What was that?
Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah.
2077.
Yeah. Now, also before we do that, I just want to say, remember they announced DLC for Sea of Thieves, which that's cool. I'm glad they're still trying to add stuff to that. They announced, which was a big like trick for everybody, and I got hyped, got kind of sad, but I was still like, this will do. And that was Session, because everybody was expecting EA to announce Skate 4.
Oh,
and then that trailer for Session popped up, and everybody was like, it's Skate 4. And then it was like, no, it's Session. I was like, that's fine. If it's an open world New York online skateboarding game, fuck it, I'll take it. Then other than that was, of course, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, which looks great. The first one was excellent. And let's see, Gears Tactics, which of course is just like Halo Wars, or kind of like Gears mixed with XCOM, I guess you could say. Right. That looks pretty cool. And then other than that, yeah, that was the main. Oh yeah, and the DLC for Cuphead. We get the new cup lady, or what was she? Was she like a teacup or something? Brett. Hello? Did I lose you? Okay, we'll see if he comes back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, sorry about that.
No, you're fine. DLC for Cuphead, the last course.
Yes.
We got a new character that looks pretty good, and then of course, what was you about to say?
Who dropped Overcooked?
That's coming to the Switch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
then I'll wait.
Yeah,
because they got Overcooked too.
Yeah.
No, they have new Overcooked.
Yeah, they showed that for the Switch, which I was like, fuck yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Sorry.
And then lastly, before, of course, a game that, two games actually, because there's one that I wanted to bring up. Crackdown 3, which we're still waiting. I mean, I hope it's good, but I feel like it's not gonna live up to.
It's not gonna live up to the hype.
No, not at all. And then, yeah, I think it'll probably be like a 7. Now, before we go into a game that I'm actually excited for, because I want me and you to play it.
Okay.
Is Ashen, and we've talked about this before, and that's the one that looks like a mix between Dark Souls and what's that game? The fighting game that I have that's like the martial arts. Advent.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
So
yeah.
Should they give a release on that one?
Not yet.
Okay. So
I'm
waiting to see more. That's all I'm waiting is just see more. It's got my attention. It's got my attention peaked.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting to see more because I like fighting games and I like Dark Souls.
Yeah.
You put them two things together.
And it's co-op, like all the way through.
And it's co-op.
Yeah, it looks great. So... Yeah. It looks cool. I hope it's good. We'll see. But yeah, like you said, of course, the way they outroed was great, and that was with the Cyberpunk 2077 demo. A little short teaser, I guess you could say. I've been excited for this game just because I know what CD Projekt Red can do and what they have done. Like, what they did with The Witcher 3 was incredible. And it was one of the most saturated games as far as, like, quest and stuff to do. I still haven't finished the main game. And there's, like, 40 hours more of DLC.
Yeah, I got all that.
And it's such a good game. So them shifting one, because I've always been more of a fan of like the future technological setting more than I am like the kind of like fantasy setting. I like both, but I would always rather it be in like a kind of like far future, weird, like kind of setting like that, especially when it looks colorful and crazy the way this looks. The interesting thing, I saw a few people getting like, they caught some backlash, which CD Projekt's really good at just kind of fanning off people like, shut up, whatever, about it being first person. It seems like from everything I've heard from they did like an hour behind closed doors demo that a lot of the writers and stuff got a chance to check out. And it seems like from everything that they've said is that it works so well in first person, and the way the gunplay and the abilities and everything work, it could only be done right in first person. So I'm completely fine with that. Of course, everybody gets backlash when something's different, but I'm really excited for this game, like super, super excited. I think it's going to be a blast, and I think it's going to be insane to see how they bring this world to life in this type of setting the way they did with Witcher. And that preview was great. The way it was just like, Phil was like, all right, everybody have a great E3. And then it just like shut down and looked like it was like rebooting, and like a bunch of code came up on the screen. Like, I was like, that's a really good way to do it. And, yeah, I'm really excited. And the CD Projekt Red came out after the fact and released like a statement like, hey, like, we're glad you guys really like the demo. Just so you know, we're still like, we're really busting ass working on this. We're not going to announce anything before it's ready. We're not going to give you a date until we know it's absolutely concrete. Like, pretty much just coming out and genuinely saying, like, we're not going to lead you on. When it's ready, it'll be ready. Leave us alone. and they've always been really good about that. And they've gotten to the point, especially in the past with the games that they've released, where they've earned that kind of reputation where people are like, give them whatever time they need, because what's going to come out on the back end is going to be something amazing. So we'll see what happens. I'm super excited about the game. I just want to see more of it. I'll be really glad when we see exactly what the behind closed door demo was. But yeah. Now, did you have anything to add on that one?
To that, I'm gonna check out Cyberpunk some more. Yeah. I want to just see some more like gameplay footage.
Yeah.
It wasn't on my radar, but now that it's been announced or everything's been shown on it, I am looking forward to getting to see even more things about it.
Absolutely.
So, Gears of War, that's what set me up.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry 5. Oh, Dying Light 2.
Oh,
Dying Light 2 made me go.
Was that on?
Yep. That was announced. Yeah.
No, was it on Microsoft though?
That was on Microsoft.
Yeah. I mean,
I texted you and was like, we're going back.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, we had a blast playing that game. That game was fucking fun. And this one just looks like, I mean, it's a totally different location. The way you affect the world kind of thing. I love that kind of stuff where it's like different. Like if you fuck over somebody or if you help somebody, like it could completely alter the way the world looks. And apparently the way they're going to have now is there's going to be like kind of like these refill and like health places like water and like supplies and like stuff like that. Food supplies where you can have those on your route. So if you're stuck out at night, it can kind of help you. But if you were to do a mission and screw over somebody who takes care of that water supply or that food supply, you could cut yourself off from like having that extra help at certain times. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that narrative stuff affects the actual gameplay in the game world. But yeah, that looks great. I mean, they know how well everybody loved that first one, and it's going to be awesome to see them go back and make another one.
The parkouring in that game is even better. It looks even more smoother, even more fluid.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what kind of crazy over the top things we end up, you end up pulling off.
Yeah.
To get somebody or to get away from somebody.
Yeah.
That's like a great game of tag. That game is like really fun game of tag.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. What was the next comment?
So next up was Bethesda.
Ooh.
Now Bethesda was cool. It was one of those things where one, I liked the setup. Two, it had one of the worst openings just because it was funny. Just because I love the awkward moments in these conferences where they try to do something and it just is like, what the hell is going on?
What the hell was that?
And they had that rock and roll dude, that band come out and just like play. And I was like, here's the thing is, all they had to do to make that better is during that performance, they should have just showed footage of the game. But they let them perform the whole song and then showed the trailer, which had the song in it again. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, just show the footage during. You can kill two birds with one. We don't need to see this performance. We just need the music to help with the trailer. And it was weird because it was just like a rock concert and everybody was like, all right, like, is this almost over? Like, I just want to see Rage. So then they showed it finally. And of course it was great. I'm really excited. I love the first Rage. It was interesting because it was like, it was a weird thing where it was like, it came out at the same time as Borderlands. So it got buried pretty much because it was, the art style was the biggest, like everybody just compared them even though they were very different. And the art style was obviously drastically different, but a lot of people just kind of like swept Rage. I'm like, oh, it's okay. But I remember I played it and I really liked it. But this one just seems like it's just batshit crazy. It looks over the top. It looks fun. It looks like Doom Insanity mixed with like Just Cause kind of like flavorings. Which is awesome. I mean, that's a good combination, and it helps that division of Avalanche that's making Just Cause is actually helping out with this game. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of things kind of cross-pollinate between these two games. I'm excited for that. New Doom. Yay. First one was great. That's always good. I was really interested in the new trailer and stuff for the new Wolfenstein. That was pretty cool.
So that one looked really good. I never got to actually buy.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you played the first one.
I played some of it, but I never got to get around to buying it. Right. I thought the shooting was good.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The acting, the acting for the acting for that game was really good. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I think I had the full game as a demo for 2 weeks or something like
nice.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, I really enjoyed that. That was the biggest surprise to me, was the actual motion caption and the
kind of
acting.
Acting, so. Yeah, absolutely. Then after that, of course, they showed what they show. They went into some different random stuff.
Fallout.
Yeah, I think that was where they went straight into Fallout, which. That was good because the biggest thing, that was probably one of the biggest questions as far as a game that got revealed before the conference, and everybody was like, what is it? There's so many rumors. What is it? Jason Schreier at Kotaku saying stuff, and everybody's like, I don't know what this is. So for Todd to come out and them to do it, one, because Todd's really good on stage. Two, because they did it in the way where it was just set up as those funny little Pip-Boy training videos, which are always really good. So by them doing it that way, I was like, okay, I totally understand what you're doing now. I get it, and I'm actually excited for it because it's pretty much just it's open world, big ass West Virginia, which is a fucking awesome setting, and then it's pretty much like an online world, but only it's a kind of like a pseudo MMO in a way where it's it's not gonna be thousands of people, it's gonna be 15 or 20 people in one giant world map. but I like the idea of like, let's say if like 2 or 3 of us are playing, and then there's like 10 or 15 other people like in different groups or one by themselves and then somebody in a group here, how you can go and take over the missile silo bases.
Yes.
And then you have to like team up with your team and like figure out the launch codes. And then you can just start nuking other parts of the map. I think that's hilarious. And then the thing about it, because I was like, that'd be funny, because basically it's just like all of a sudden the other team is playing and then they're like, oh, a nuke just blew up. Yeah, a nuke just blew up on my head. Oh, that's great. But the thing that was interesting about it is the fact that it actually literally alters the terrain and makes it where it exposes rare upgrade materials, which I'm like, okay, that's a good system. Like, that makes sense, because that makes you want to do it not just out of like, I'm going to be a dick and blow these guys up. It makes you want to do it because I want to hit this certain spot and see if we can get some stuff to upgrade our characters, and then we can be even better and then take this bitch over. So I'm excited about it. I hope we can get a group together to play that, because I think it'll be fun.
If they keep down the path that they're doing, I think you'll have no problem getting a group together to play it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, after that, they did Fallout Shelter.
Yep, Fallout Shelter, Blades, and Fallout Shelter came to Switch that night. Of course, they talked about Fallout Shelter from the last launch and how good it had been doing and stuff. Then they talked about their game Blades, which is pretty much like a mobile game and also a VR game. And you can kind of cross-platform play. If you're playing on mobile, you can play against somebody who's like playing on like Oculus or whatever, which is pretty interesting. And they did their kind of mobile run and did all that stuff. Announced the collector's edition for Fallout 76 and all that good stuff. Announced the release date, which is this year in like a few months, which they always are kind of really good about doing that. Like, hey, it's out in like a couple months, or it's out now type thing. They don't really announce stuff that's like crazy far off. And then after that, they announced 2 more games. Yeah. One that's been rumored for a while. And then one, of course, that everybody asks them about every time they announce anything. And the first one was Starfield, which is pretty much like space Elder Scrolls. Or like space Fallout, from what we've kind of heard, like the little bit of stuff that we've heard. It's set in like near future. It's based on like you're moving between planets. It's single player, and it's story driven, just like their other games, but it's just set in space. It's a completely new IP for them. And then the last thing they announced, just both of these games, I think, are probably like 20. I mean, we're talking like 2025, probably. Like both of these.
Really?
Yeah, no, absolutely. At least Elder Scrolls 6, I think 100% is probably like, we're probably like 3 or 4 years out from that game, like, to be honest.
I would say
Starfield. I'm wondering if Starfield's farther along or Elder Scrolls 6. I feel like Starfield might be a little bit farther along than Elder Scrolls 6, honestly. But the only reason I might adjust that is because I think the reason why we're getting big, crazy, open, very wooded, dense West Virginia for Fallout 76 in a much bigger map than we had in Fallout 4, I think they're testing out what they can do as far as like a wooded fantasy setting, and that's what they're testing out for Elder Scrolls 6. I think that's what Fallout 76 is. It's kind of like them testing, like stretching the map out farther, seeing how dense and wooded they can make it for the fantasy setting of Elder Scrolls 6. I think that's kind of what we're getting at, like what they're kind of like working towards. So Elder Scrolls 6 might be closer. I still think we're at least 3 or 4 years out.
I think if it is 2019, next year is like a December or October release. But I think it's going to be 2020. And if it's 2020, then there's going to be a good chance that this could come out with a new system. Yeah. Like with the potential that it can be ported to a new system. So
like the cross, like the, what was it? The, God, what's Zelda game? Oh my God.
Yeah.
The Zelda, you know, the Wii U,
Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, no. The Wii U example of the Zelda game. And then of course Breath of the Wild did the same thing. But yeah, like that kind of like on the last platform and the new platforms at the same time. Yeah, I could see something like that because it'd be interesting because they could do like the thing like if you buy it on this, it's going to take advantage of the power of this and blah, 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 whatever.
In which I might not buy the next round of consoles.
I mean, with your One X, I mean, you really don't need to. At least on the Xbox side, like anytime soon.
Not.
Yeah, like I might stick, and that's my thing. I might get a PS4 Pro, and then I'll be sitting pretty for the foreseeable future. Like honestly,
I think it's because if Xbox is doing what they're doing and they're allowing crossplay with at least PC,
and they've said that every game moving forward will be on everything.
And I'm liking that. So that's why I've been investing more into Xbox, but into Xbox, Microsoft, how you want to look at it. And the thing is, it's like I believe you all are going to eventually go PC. And if I can cross play with you all,
then you'll be good.
Or even, I buy it both ways, and then I have one for Xbox, one for the PC.
You're good.
Like, I'm good. Like, I don't have to go buy extra systems. I can use, PS4 to watch my Netflix on.
Right, right.
But Elder Scrolls, as soon as I heard that music, we forgot one more thing when it comes to Elder Scrolls. But as soon as I heard that music, I got a little excited, and I knew it wasn't gonna say anything because they just showed like a land, like a shot of a land. I was like, I can't wait to go to Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
They also had the is it best to call it a spoof or commercial or teaser about the Echo Dot
the Skyrim Alexa, the Alexa Skyrim.
Yeah, which ended up being a real thing. Like they made the joke into a real thing.
That's so funny, man.
And you can actually
that was really good.
Talk to Alexa and tell Alexa to open up Skyrim or to play Skyrim.
Yeah.
And it'll be a choose your own adventure. So hopefully
like, describe it. That's great. Yep. It's almost like she's almost like a dungeon master.
Yeah, literally. It's like a dungeon master. Like, it's like, hey, do you want to walk up to the left? There's a fork in the road. You want to go left. There's a person with wares and they look kind of, iffy. To the right, there's skeletons to fight. Which one do you want to do? You can literally pick your route.
But that was really funny for them to do that. Like in the middle of the conference, that was hilarious. Like the fact that they took the time out to do that with all the jokes people have had with them porting Skyrim to every system. It's been that was a really good joke for them to do.
I really like Bethesda's conference.
Yeah, I mean, and that plays into one. They've got great games to show. And then also Todd's really good. Like Todd Howard. Yeah. Actually, both of them are really good. Todd Howard and
it's up there with Ubisoft. When we get to Ubisoft,
they went off. Now, I'll just say we'll just kind of skim through these next two because Devolver Digital is great just because it's literally a spoof of every other conference and it's really funny. And they showed off that game that I sent you. My friend Pablo, which I can't wait for that fucking game.
Goodness.
That game looks so much fun. That game looks awesome.
My friend Pablo, for anybody that ain't seen it, just go ahead and YouTube that.
Yeah.
But literally, it's like a little bit more than a stick man. Think of just old school cartoon. I was trying to think.
Shadow Complex.
Yeah, and he's like side scrolling.
He's like a ballerina and an assassin
with two guns, and they always are shooting like side to side. Yeah. Like any action movie, like left and right, and then you can focus it, shoot it off, make bullets ricochet. Like that game.
It looks great. It looks really good.
they might have got me with that one.
Yeah, I was excited. I'm really excited about that.
Hey, Pablo.
Yeah. Next up, of course, is Square Enix. Square Enix was undoubtedly pretty much across the board. Pretty much everybody rated it to be the worst conference they've ever seen. It was terrible. It was like literally like 15 minutes.
Let's keep going.
Now, and of course, moving on to what I think was one of the best was Ubisoft. They did really good. And it was one of those things where Ubisoft also has one franchise, pretty much, maybe two if you include like Assassin's Creed or something. But as far as like one franchise that you're going to get every Ubisoft conference, just like a sports game because they come out every year, and that's the Just Dance franchise. So for them to start off with that the way they did, I actually found myself enjoying that stupid band performance with that panda dance around the whole auditorium. I actually liked it. It was fun. Like they actually didn't even talk about the game, besides saying it's coming out on these consoles. It was literally just, here's a panda with a marching band, dance, 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 get into the auditorium, Just Dance is coming out this year. And then they just fucked off. Like, that was all they did.
And you know what? They learned from last year because they put it in the middle last year.
And it was
long. And it was like complete disaster because
it derailed the momentum.
What Just Dance is. If you played Just Dance ever in your life, you know what the next Just Dance is. Just like you know what Madden is or 2K is or FIFA Soccer is. Like, you know what the hell you're getting.
Yeah. And
we don't need 50 trailers of tell me how we're going to do new sequences of dance.
Right.
No. They did it. They did it short, sweet. I mean, they did it like really smooth, like boom.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun. Plus, it was the starter.
Yeah.
So now you got people involved. People are like, what dancing, the hell is this?
People upbeat. Yeah.
Just Dance. It's releasing. Oh shit, for real? Boom. Let's move on.
Yeah. And it was completely. It was there. It introduced the show. Then it got out of the way. Like you said, last year the biggest problem with it was in the middle. It was long, and it completely threw off the momentum they had going.
Yeah.
So with that being said, after that,
it's good.
Yeah. After that, they showed which every time I see this game, I get more and more excited about it because it seems like just one of those, just like the same way I kind of feel about Anthem, but even more so with this one because it seems even more diverse. Just like that kind of co-op, just potential co-op craziness. In an insane open world, and that's Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Okay, I was right. Okay.
Yeah.
I think, well, maybe I'm off.
No.
Beyond Evil. What's your thoughts?
That, like, every time they show the trailer, every time they show gameplay now, because they're starting to show more gameplay, it's just one of those games you want to be in. Like, that world with those characters and stuff seems awesome. I love the fact that, like, the character, the main character they keep showing is like this, like, Caribbean, like Jamaican, like young girl who's like badass with like a fucking cane staff, and then she's buddy with this like chimp with this mech arm. Like, that's like insane. Like, that's video game. That's crazy video game stuff. But the whole thing that they've been talking about, and I've been trying to like keep up with their monthly like developer update things that they do on Twitch and YouTube, and pretty much what they're doing is it's going to be a open like multi-planet universe type game with these massive cities. It's going to be co-op, and you're going to be able to go from like, you're going to have like your giant huge like tanker ship, and then you'll be able to load into that ship like your smaller like X-wing like fighter ships, and then you'll be able to seamlessly transition between ground to air, like flying in the ship to like they showed off where like she was flying in the ship and literally like teleported out of the ship and like came down like hero fall style and started fighting those guys, and then jumped back in the ship and flew off and stuff. Like, so it's going to be this very like seamless, like open, really cool setting because the characters, the whole story thing of like, pretty much they've made these mutant animals to kind of like use them and enslave them in some cases and stuff like that. And then like people are like, some people are against it in this society. Some people are for it. Some people are like, those are their friends and family, and those are like your crew members, and you get to recruit these different people, and they serve purposes like in your group, like your medics, your mechanics and stuff like that. And you have to like think about that kind of stuff. It seems like it's going to be really good. It's super ambitious. I think it's going to be a while before we see it done, but it's going to be interesting to really like keep an eye on the development, because even that trailer before they got into some of the gameplay stuff, that trailer was really good. Like the big like crazy wave, like after that ship like came through and like attacked them, and then she was trying to like bolt back to him and like help save him. Like, that whole thing was like, it just really made me excited for the game even more than I already am, and I think it was a really good way to start out.
Hey, I think there's something there with this one. Like, it
looks good.
Yeah,
it looks really good.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it because, like I said, it's one of those games that I could see us putting a lot of time in. Just kind of like doing the thing, upgrading the ship, having your little crew, and just flying around, doing missions, fighting people and stuff. It looks really good. One of the things that was interesting is that they caught some backlash, which is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Is because the company, Ubisoft, that division, of course, and what they're calling the Space Monkey program, they're teaming up with Jason Gordon-Levitt's company, Hit Record, to kind of get people to contribute and help with like different art and assets in the game.
Right.
And pretty much the way it works is they have a budget that they've allocated through Hit Record, and pretty much you can submit like art, like graffiti, music, and different stuff like that. And if you get chosen and you get in the game, then you get a part of that cut of that pool of money, which I think right now it's at like $50,000. And if they need to do more outsource into the community, they'll up that amount. A lot of people pretty much were saying, well, just hire more people type thing. And a lot of people were getting upset about it. I really don't have any comment on that because I'm still waiting to see how it plays out. If it helps the development, if it helps any artists or stuff, we'll just see. But I saw some people upset about it, but I am interested to see how that works out, involving the community in a way where they're literally like helping develop the game.
I like it.
Yeah, I do. Because, I mean, you're going to get a lot of different
takes, fresh
input,
eyes, inputs, and fresh designs.
Yeah, you're going to get weird stuff.
You're giving people who would have never had a chance to make it into that industry or put their art on like a major platform.
Yeah.
They now, like, now you're building up other people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Like you're allowing some of your core followers to be a part of something. And you know if somebody loves it, they're going to put their time and effort into it.
Yeah. And it's been interesting to like watch the site, the conference and everything after that, and then kind of like watch the site where people started submitting stuff, and you start to see like all these cool like graffiti designs and like songs like ideas and stuff like that for in the game. It's gonna be interesting to see like what makes it in the game and kind of what we see actually come out from it. Like what we see, like you're going through the game and then you see somebody's graffiti, like you see your own graffiti, or like you get to a certain part of the game and then like you hear like your song kick in, like that kind of stuff. I think it'd be interesting. So I am very interested. I'm interested to see how it goes and see how it kind of like ends up and how it contributes to the game. Because I mean, the way I see this, hopefully what it does is it helps make the game more diverse, and hopefully it helps the game have, like you said, more variation, have more fresh eyes on the game. So I'm totally down. So after that, they showed Trials Rising.
Cool.
New Trials game, great, fine.
Cool.
The game is awesome. They came back. They showed. This is when they kind of did their big pop with all the information on Division 2. We talked about that already.
Yep.
Good stuff. After that, they showed Mario Rabbids Donkey Kong DLC. Cool. That game is awesome. I didn't expect to like that game as much as I did, but I really did because it's basically just XCOM, but just replace the characters with Mario characters. Fucking fine. That's a great. It was really good. Skull and Bones. This is one that I'm really interested on because most of the people, when you see people talk about it, they're kind of like on like two camps of either like I don't really care or might be fun. Like,
the name has me paying attention.
It looks great.
I gotta wait it out. I gotta see a little bit more.
Now,
I need a bit more buzz.
Yeah, I do too. Now, when I say it looks great aesthetically. It kind of reminds me of when they revealed and showed For Honor for the first time, where I was like, that looks awesome. I want to play that. Never did really as much. And then the game kind of died off after a while.
You got that For Honor new Martian Fire content.
Yeah, now I was going to get to that. The same thing with Skull and Bones is I feel like I feel like it might have the same issue where it's going to have to do something drastic or different post-launch that's going to get a player base in there, like either, I don't know, like free to play or something like that. But it's going to be interesting to see how many people bite the bullet initially and just start playing out of the gate. Now, with that being said, after that, they did the VR game, that crazy game Transference, which looked weird.
Yeah,
it was like almost like a mix between game footage and FMV in VR, which is weird. Now the other one, which this one was funny, because I watched the Ubisoft conference through Kind of Funny games, and it was funny to watch their reaction because it was almost 1-to-1 with mine. where it was like they started showing this game that they showed off last year, which is this game called Starlink Battle for Atlas, which looks like pretty much the new, hey, this is cool space combat, but instead of just like you upgrading your ships and doing dogfights and stuff, which that would have been fine, you can buy toys, and then when you replace the parts on the toys, it loads into the game automatically and whatever. I'm like, okay, that's a cool gimmick. I could see that good for kids. Anaya might like that, whatever. And then they had the teaser thing, and I was immediately like, fuck, I gotta get this. And basically what they did was they came back in after they had the people out there to talk for a second. They was like, hey, they was like, we're Starlink's coming out soon. They was like, we want to show off one more thing, with the game real quick. And then they went back to the thing, and then like this girl's getting like lit up in battle, and she's like, is anybody out there? Like, I need help. And then you hear like the beeps and boops like going to, and you see like a silhouette of a character like kind of flash on her little like radar screen. And then all of a sudden you see like panning, and you see like the chest, and you're like, that looks familiar. And then you see the collar, and then all of a sudden you see his scanner come on, and you're like, that's Star Fox. And then they show like a cut back, and he like barrel rolls out of the ship, and I was like, oh my God. And everybody fucking lost it. And they was like, well, they just fucking sold it to a bunch of old school nerds.
So
because
here's the crazy part about that. So I didn't see the introduction of that.
Okay, so you just saw like, hey, it's Star Fox.
I only saw where it was like, hey, I need some help. And then they started flashing like into the cockpit, and I was like, is that Wolf? Because they show like a picture of like just the eyebrows and face. Yeah. Like, but it's not like focused in, so you only see like fur. I was like, is that a wolf? I was like, right. Could that be Wolf? And I was like, hell no, they couldn't make Wolf the main. I was like, and literally as I was like, and they did the scan of the like the chest. I was like, Fox? Yeah. Literally, I had that like, Fox?
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Yeah. New Star Fox. Like now, I just was like, new Star Fox.
Exactly. That was the thing, because everybody knows when they came out with a new Star Fox game. We don't like to talk about it. Like last year, it was horrible. It was terrible.
But that was an extension of like what was made 20 years ago, right?
No, it was like literally a new Star Fox game.
Oh, I'm thinking of the one with the NES.
They did. The one that it was fine. That was Star Fox 2. They released it on the NES Classic. Yeah, that was the never released game. That was obviously, it wasn't great because
it should have stayed never released.
Right. Now the one that they released actually on the Wii U was garbage. It was really bad. It looked horrible. It looked so bad. And then all of a sudden they show this, and I'm like, this is the Star Fox game we wanted. Like, this is exactly what they wanted. And then they kind of did the thing where they were like, oh yeah, they was like, we always love our partner, like with partnering with Nintendo. And I was like, this was just after they showed the Mario Rabbids thing, which was a big thing where they partnered with Nintendo. And then like, oh, Shigeru Miyamoto's in the fucking audience. Like, what? Okay.
And they gave him a ship.
Yeah, they gave him a ship, and it was great. And then like, I love like how buddy Ubisoft and Nintendo are now. It's fucking great. Because I wasn't interested in this game well, I kind of was, because it looked cool. Because I like the shipment. I was like, kind of on the fence. But more so, I was like, maybe Anaya would be interested in that thing. And then seeing this, I'm like, this is a new Star Fox game. That's all I think about this now. This should just be called Star Fox.
New Star Fox.
For Atlas. Like, it should just be called Star Fox for Atlas. Like, get rid of the Starlink Battle for Atlas. It should be called Star Fox Battle for Atlas. And that would be fine. Because if I can play a Star Fox and upgrade and change his ship, why the fuck would I play with anything else?
Bingo. That's what Just sold me.
Yeah, you just sold me a new Star Fox game.
I have no need to be any other character.
Right.
Because if we go, who you picking?
Star Fox. I'm gonna play a Star Fox.
Do I get to be Slippy?
Right. Yeah, and I kind of heard like when you heard that little teaser when she was asking for help, you kind of heard like a little.
What was other voices?
Like a little voice. Yeah. Which I think they were hinting at that.
I was like, do I get the whole crew?
Dude, I was so excited.
Are we putting the whole crew together again?
I think we probably will. I'm excited. I was like, okay, guys, like really, okay, I guess I'm getting this now, because fuck it if I'm not gonna get a new Star Fox game.
Yo, we about to be out there Top Gun.
Oh yeah, it looks good.
We about to be out there Top Gunning again. Goose is back.
Right, and it looks good. Now, after that big surprise, and everybody like, what the they showed For Honor Marching Fire, which looks good. For Honor's always looked great, and I've heard, I haven't got a chance to actually take time to sit down and play it, even though I have the fucking game. I've heard For Honor has made like huge improvements because the biggest problem they had was really just online infrastructure. Their online was pretty shit when it first released. They were having really big connection issues, and that was the biggest thing that screwed them up.
I played it.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lot of potential to me.
Yeah.
From what I played of it, it has a lot of potential. Combat was actually good.
Yeah.
It's a lot more chaotic than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Because it's like basically run, big fight.
Yeah.
Everything around you is like those movie moments where it's like everybody and their mama's fighting around you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like your little circle pit is like just only you
Just
two.
you, another guy. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it throws me off because every now and then like somebody else will pop in, but it's like, what are we doing here? Like,
Right. Yeah.
you realize there's like a whole war, and then we got 60 feet of pure
Of just
like,
openness.
openness fisticuffs with weapons. You know, I can kick you off a bridge, and then nobody ever like looks or bat an eye.
Right.
So, I hope this game does well.
I do too.
Am I gonna go get it? No.
Yeah. Right.
Because
now, if it was free, would you pick it up?
If it was free, I would pick it up, but I probably still wouldn't play it.
Yeah. See, and that's what I did. Like, I got it like for like $15, and haven't put that much time into it. Every time I play it, I'm like, this is really well made. This is really good game. I'm just.
But it
fine.
doesn't make me come back to it.
I know that's the thing.
Problem.
Yeah, I know that exactly. That's the biggest problem.
It's like eating a turkey sandwich.
Yeah.
Right. So you make it. You're like, all right, that was good. You put whatever favorite cheese you want on there. If you don't like cheese, whatever dressing you want on there.
Mm-hmm.
You eat it, and you're like, all right, I had that and some chips.
I'm good.
Boom. All right, let me move on to something else because that was a snack. And that's what that game is.
Yeah.
It is nothing more than a snack.
That's a good way to put it. Now, with that being said, moving on to the next game, which I'm actually really excited for because our one that we got last was excellent. Good old Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Set in ancient Rome, you get to play as either a brother or sister, like we've done in the past.
I need multiplayer.
Definitely going to play as the sister because she looks great. This game has just become pretty much like The Witcher. Like it's a full RPG now. Like you got conversations, like they've pushed it all the way as far from the animus as possible, and it's literally just
and they needed to.
Yeah, they did. They did a really good job at taking that year off that they did and drastically adjusting the formula.
Oh,
and like changing the combat like way different than it used to be. Which because it used to be just a lot of like similar to like Arkham. It was just wait, rinse, repeat. That was pretty much what it was. And this has changed into like, I mean, you got like full combo button combinations, like damn near like a fighting game now.
Yeah.
And I loved Origins. Origins is great. So like having this in the Roman setting and being able to just like Spartan kick people all over the place, fucking absolutely.
They need multiplayer back.
Yeah,
that's what I need to hear from.
Yeah, I need Brotherhood multiplayer back.
Like just it doesn't have to be co-op. We don't like because we've always wanted that, and then that was a disaster. Yeah. But what I would like is some form of multiplayer. And if they make the multiplayer co-op, like you can take on these 7 missions.
Yeah, like if they're just like a little group of missions.
Doing a Brotherhood, that would be awesome. Just make it like story.
Yeah,
and then you got side mission like co-op.
Mm-hmm.
That would be excellent because you can judge like, hey, if you don't want to ever play side missions with co-op, you do the story, you love that, you enjoy that, you're great.
Yeah.
But if you're a person like me who doesn't give a crap about the story mode anymore because I've been so burnt out on, hey, go find this guy, track him down, stab him in the throat, in front of 90 guards, listen to the story as he dies, and then walk away in the crowd like nothing happened.
Run away.
That is like, you know what I'm saying? Like jump into barn of hay or whatever foliage is sitting there.
Hop in the bush.
You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't do it for me. So when I seen this came out, I was like, Rome is kind of nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check back on it. I'm gonna keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
But I'm not even looking forward to it.
To the website. I got you.
Plus it was they did a year they didn't give it a year break.
No, they're back on every year now.
And that's what threw me off. I was like, they need to do it.
No, they're back on after they changed that formula, and they even changed that. This one got adjusted too. This one's different than Origins too, but they were like, no, we got to get back on this. Get this shmoney.
Yeah, they was missing out on a lot of shmoney.
Yeah, get this
lot of shmoney. But they needed to, because they was like literally. Oh, I wasn't gonna buy another game after that game.
They were just treading water after the last ones.
That one that was just like a disaster is up there with me with Fallout New Vegas. Like, it was just a disaster for me. It made me not want to play another Fallout.
I absolutely love that's your opinion on Fallout New Vegas, because literally pretty much everybody always has the argument that Fallout New Vegas is the best Fallout game ever. Like, even like compared to like 4 and 3 and even the old ones, the tactics ones. Like, it's so funny because like everybody's like, Fallout New Vegas is the best. Like, that was always like a meme that came out when Fallout 4 like came out and was like pretty damn good, but not like blowing away amazing. And everybody was like, Fallout New Vegas is better. Like, that was always the thing. So the fact that you have a completely different opinion, I fucking love it. Because I get so annoyed with people that are like, Fallout New Vegas is the best one. Like, shut up. It's good, but fuck off. Like, God.
Like, for me, no.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Like, Elder Scrolls almost went down that path, too.
Yeah.
And PS4, like, there's been some games that almost, like, literally was like, I may never play another game in your series.
No, it was remember the PS3
it was the PS4
version of Skyrim was the one that was broke.
That was the one that I lost forever. 2 saves.
Yeah, and that one was
my hard drive crashed.
Yeah, that one was like
I've never
broke badly. I remember that. Yeah, that was terrible.
I don't even know if I played the PS3 since then. Like, I've been that pissed off at it. Like, so Elder Scrolls, you just remember, you don't borrow time, Elder Scrolls. I ain't forgot.
Well, we've had fun with ESO though.
This is true. This is true. What else? So what else was there? What else did we?
Well, that was the end of Ubisoft, so we can move in. PC Gaming Show was okay. It pretty much showed a lot of the same stuff. But then
before we run off, was Aisha Tyler? Was she on the stage this year?
No, she wasn't.
Nope. Okay, so I wasn't tripping.
No,
that she wasn't, because I think she's probably the top 3.
She's great. Yeah, her and Todd are probably the best 2 hosts.
Yeah,
and Aisha's the best non-developer host.
Yes.
I like the fact that they had Andrea at EA, because I like Andrea Renee a lot. She's good, but she having to do like the corny stuff that they usually have them do is always annoying. Yeah, but she's really good because she's really like energetic, and she's like, yeah, she fucking loves doing it. So she's good, but yeah, Aisha's the best. A lot of people were joking at the beginning of the Ubisoft conference that the bear was just Aisha Tyler. She was going to take off the bear head and be like, yay! Which I thought that would have been hilarious.
It would have. And then just walked off.
Right, like, what? Okay.
I got paid.
Right.
I got my money. E3.
Right.
All right, so what we got next?
So next up is Sony.
Ooh.
Sony was hyper-focused and a little weird. Because I like what they attempted to do, which was basically like, we're going to show you a game in a physical space from the game. Was pretty much how they started with that whole Last of Us thing. Now, we had a similar thing to the way Bethesda started with this, where you have this amazing banjo player come out and play like the Last of Us theme. But show the footage while he's playing.
Show the beautiful beam footage.
Yeah, show the footage while he's playing. Like, don't just let him play for 4 minutes and then show the fucking trailer that has the same song in it. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, you're not being efficient with your time.
You're working too hard.
Yeah, right. You're not being efficient. Like, you don't have to work that hard. Like, you could literally have the sound of the natural sound of the trailer working with the natural sound of the music in that space. That's going to be even more immersive than just having the music on the trailer completely separate from the music that this gentleman was playing. So that was annoying that they did that way, but it wasn't that bad, because then they went into the trailer, and then it was great because they did that whole intro thing, and the way they did that trailer was like perfect, where Ellie was like kind of nervous and stuff, and then she's dancing with the girl, and then she kind of like every guy in here is like staring at you, and then she was like
really weird,
and then she was like, no, they're staring at you, and she was like, they should be terrified of you. and then they kissed, and then it panned around her head, and then it just started. And I was like, oh, we're getting to see gameplay already. Okay, let's fucking go. And then it just like, woo, like that was like that was rough.
Anybody didn't see it.
Yeah.
Like so they do this like kissing moment.
Yeah.
And then it pans by the camera pans by like around the shoulder behind the head, and as it goes past her head,
fades to black.
It fades to black, like her whole head turns like fading to black. And then when it comes out on the other side, what you would think would be the other side of her face or room, it goes into her brutally
murdering
with a shank
into some guy's neck.
A guy's neck. And didn't even kill him the first time, like had to apply it 2 to 3 times, like hold it in.
Yeah.
Like and do it over. Like, oh my goodness.
And then she just crouched down, and then it just went into gameplay, and I was like, fucking that's perfect.
Yo.
And then
the cars.
The way that was the big thing. And then after reading from Neil Druckmann, like where he talked about how they kind of like rebuilt the movement and combat system around Ellie completely from the ground up and not using stuff from the first game really, you could see it because there was a lot of stuff in that gameplay demo that she was doing that was so fucking fluid that it looked great. Like the whole thing of where she hit under the car, and I was like, does she still have do they still have control of this? And then like she ducked under, and she was just like bam, and just like bam, she got shot. She rolls out, tries to fire at the one person, like stabs the one dude with that axe, pulls it out, hits the other girl, then throws it in the guy's face. He falls down. Then she runs out, knocks out the other girl, runs down that hill. Then she goes like into that store. And the thing that I loved about that part, because I'm always a sucker for this. It's funny because like we were just talking about Assassin's Creed. It started with Assassin's Creed. I love when a character in a game can be moving while naturally reacting and interacting with the game world. So like the first time I saw Ezio walking through a crowd and like putting his hand on people, I lost it. Like I was like, that's incredible. And then like for instance, I remember talking about when we first saw The Division, when he was like crouched down behind the car and he had to like close the door before he shuffled past it. Like that was incredible to me. So when she ran into that mall and was like in full sprint and there was a bad guy in front of her and she didn't have anything on her, and she just swoops up that bottle while she's running and just beans him in the head with it. Like that was so good. I was like, one, the whole time you're like, this is amazing. And two, the whole time you're like, ooh, ow, oh, ow. Like you're like, fuck, like, wait a minute, it hurts. Like, cause it was so brutal and visceral, and she was getting fucked up and she was fucking everybody up. And it looked ruthless. I mean, it looked like The Last of Us is supposed to look.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go back in there.
Oh, dude, I'm
ready
so
to go
excited.
back in there.
It looks so good, man. It looks, I just can't, because the thing that was the other kind of hidden thing that I'm really interested, because from all this stuff we've seen so far, from the first little like trailer thing we got last year, which I loved, which was kind of like more of like a mood piece, and then this where we actually got to see gameplay, the whole time you're like, well, where's Joel? Where's Joel? Where's Joel? And the interesting thing about this was when it started off and that guy was talking to her before she started dancing with the girl, the guy specifically said like,
your old man.
Yeah, he was like, we got to go out in the morning. He said, your old man's always like such and such and such, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, he must be talking about Joel. And I think probably what we saw, I'm interested to see if it ends up in the full game like this way. But I feel like what we saw with that, I feel like there's going to be time jumping in the game a lot. I think that's going to be a storytelling mechanic. And I think what we saw was that whole situation that Ellie was in with the gameplay was as a direct result of when the guy was talking about we have to go out in the morning. I bet you those people that she was going through probably killed that girl that she was in love with. And she was basically just like, I'm going to kill all you fuckers. Yeah. Because the way she was killing that first dude just seemed like
That was with the purpose. Like that was like
that seemed
personal.
Yeah, exactly. And she just seemed like she had a mission.
Because everybody else was like, "I'm gonna punch you, take you down, hit you with a bow."
Yeah.
Like I gotta survive. I gotta make the best of the situation. But that one,
no, she was like, I gotta
that one screamed like,
yeah.
"Oh,
yeah." I feel like that might be more intertwined than we think. It was a perfect transition, especially when we came back, and she was just like, "You're like, they should be terrified of you." Like I told you, they should be terrified of you. Like after she kissed her, and then it's just like in your mind, you're thinking about the fact that Ellie just murdered like 20 people. And then in her mind, she's just talking about the kiss. So it's a very like perfect, like tonal thing. God, I can't wait for that game.
hey, we both in the same boat, man."
Yeah. Now, with that being said, then we had, who do we have next? Because they opened with that, okay, after that, you had that kind of weird timing thing, which was interesting to kind of see, where they had to like move everybody. Which that was interesting to, because I had to wait till after the conferences were over when I got off work to actually watch the conferences. So when the people that I was following on Twitter, that was an interesting thing because I was like seeing people saying, "Oh, we're moving again," and I was like, "What the fuck are they talking about?" So like until I actually saw it, I was like, "Oh, this is what they meant by we're moving." They had to literally like move them to a whole nother place. Like after they started off there, they had to move to the other thing. So after that, we saw. I liked how they put dreams in between everything, like little like dreams, like the little characters.
Oh yeah,
that was cute.
Okay.
I like how they did that with everything. That was pretty cool. Then we went into Ghost of Tsushima. That was what it was next. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, which was next after Last of Us. That game looked stupid pretty. Like it looked like ridiculously pretty.
Do you think that game could be a runner-up for potential 9 or a 10 when it fully is finished?
I think so, because I think from that trailer, I think we're going to see some really cool stuff story-wise. Combat and everything, I think we're going to have some stuff that's going to be a mix between kind of like the strategic stuff where you kind of have to be smart about things and like something like Dark Souls. And then also with some of the like action movement stuff that we had in like Tenchu, because he had like that hook. Because he had that hook like to that when he got on that rooftop, he like hooked to it and like swung over. I was like, okay,
yeah,
like he's like a proper like ninja. Yeah. But the thing that I liked about it was it looked like literally like a live action version of a painting. Like it was so pretty just to look at, like just the game world, and it's gonna be interesting to see like how big the world is, like how the story, it seems like the story could really like weave in there and be very interesting, because that whole setup at the end where that girl that he was working with like turned on him, and then they fought for a second, and then all of a sudden it was like another worse, basically big bad was like coming at him, so they had to like stop and fight that. So it's gonna be interesting to see how relationships are gonna work and how that's gonna play out within this game.
It's on my radar.
Yeah.
That game's on my radar.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. It's on my radar. It's theirs. If they drop the ball, it's on them, but it's on my radar.
Yeah. It looks gorgeous. After that, because I think they did Spider-Man last, right? They didn't do...
Yes.
Yeah. After that, of course, was Death Stranding.
I still don't understand this game. I mean, he's a delivery pizza man. He's a stork.
Here's
the skin change.
Here's my theory, and theories are halfway pointless / very fun with Kojima games, because that man.
You make a theory, I'll make a theory
on another level. Here's what I think is going on. I think the baby, because here's what I've heard, and this is how kind of like to set up what my thoughts are. What I've heard is death in this game is a part of the gameplay. So when you die, it's not like game over, load last save. It's literally like, you're dead, let us continue. Like, that's the way death works in this game, from what I've heard. That's one of the small tidbits I've heard from Kojima, that death is very fluid in this game. So what I'm thinking is, You noticed how, like, when shit started getting bad, he had the baby on his chest. And he was like, I got an idea. I think what happens is, I think in order to avoid death, it's almost like the baby is like a hard drive. And like he can basically download his subconscious onto the baby. So like when he dies, the baby will like be him, and then he'll have to like baby become him. You see what I'm saying? Because they had that specific thing, the weird thing of like the baby inside his stomach, and like he gives a thumbs up, which is still probably the weirdest thing to happen in fucking video games.
All right.
I think there's some very integral part where the babies are either a part of the grown-ups or something. Because there was that very specific thing, too, in last year's trailer where Guillermo del Toro's character was very adamant about protecting that baby. So there's got to be something about either that's one baby or there's just babies that you can do that to. But I feel like it might be either there's one baby or that's just that's part of the game. Like a baby is almost like a baby is almost like a mushroom in Mario.
Oh wow, 9+1. All right, so here's my theory.
Yeah. That looks so ridiculous.
That there are people who are like cultivators, almost like storks.
Yeah.
And they deliver the babies.
Okay.
Right? So let's say babies aren't like supposed to be born very often. Let's say there's a scarcity on babies. Because like whatever the monsters are feed on people.
Yeah.
And maybe maybe somehow they turn into the, more monsters. They eat it like an actual baby. Now, when he was like walking through the land, that what I was thinking was a baby seemed to be growing. So at one point, it seemed like he had like a mummy on the back, on his shoulder pack.
Oh yeah, like, it was like a body. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like it just like was growing.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, I'm thinking that in that role, he's a harvester of some sort.
Yeah.
So he like harvests or cultivates like the baby and delivers it, almost like those movies where, the baby, this is the only baby born since the Great Wipeout. We need to get this baby to the safe haven. Yeah. Right. And I think that's what happens.
Right.
Is he's on a journey to deliver that baby, or maybe he delivers a few of them. And that's the game. Like you're on that journey, and the baby is growing, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It can like feed off of him.
Yeah.
Almost as if like instead of incubating.
Yeah.
He can incubate it on the outside. It doesn't have to be inside him all the time.
Yeah, it just has to be in that like case thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I think he's a deliverer or a surrogate of some sort.
I mean the whole monster setup thing, we have no idea what the fuck it is. But that whole thing, just from the last trailer and from this, is like super tense. Yeah, like the whole thing where like, did you just see the handprints?
Yeah, but his whole skin was like boiling. Like it was like changing color.
It was like he could sense it. It was almost like it was still like, it was like, even though it wasn't like they weren't completely getting him until the end, it seemed like it was like, because here's the thing. Remember, there was a specific thing we saw last year.
You can't breathe.
And that we heard her say this year. And that is, those things, whatever it is, accelerates time.
Oh, yeah.
Rapidly. So remember when they got that guy last year, he turned into an old man and then the skeleton almost like really quickly. In a matter of seconds. So I think what it is, and then remember they walked past that flower in last year's trailer.
And then, this year,
they
stepped on the ground. In the footprint, it grew a flower.
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. So I'm thinking like they might have like, obviously if they get you, you're fucked completely. But I feel like based on proximity, they might have some kind of like AoE thing where we might have seen like on his arm, it might have been literally aging his skin. You see what I'm saying? Because they were in a certain vicinity of it. But it takes until they like get you. Like if they touch you, then you're fucked completely. But if you get near them too close, then you'll basically get some effects of it. but not complete death.
I can see that.
I mean, it looks Kojima as fuck.
The game's really weird.
Oh my god,
the game's really weird. And that's all I got.
Now
Like,
here's one more thing I'll ask you. Do you, because the more I see stuff, the more I'm starting to think it doesn't. Do you think this game has any kind of like traditional combat like we've had like gunplay and stuff in like Metal Gear?
No.
That's what I'm thinking too. I think it's just like, I'm starting to think it's just more of like this journey
sneaking.
Type thing.
Yeah, I think
and
it's
sneaking and stealth.
And
yeah.
it's like, okay, so when he turned on the little thing that looks like a robot lamp.
Oh yeah, where it could
it's like pulsing,
like sense. Yeah.
So when he stopped, it did like a world sense, and he could literally see where the monsters were, and their direction.
Yeah.
And he was just like avoiding like crossing paths.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be one of those things. Like, I don't really think it's going to be with guns because nobody ever tried to, like, only one dude tried to shoot it
and it didn't
work, and then he shot himself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Another person just like, if I got to be taken, then I'm just going to kill myself now.
Right, exactly.
So I don't think we're going to get very much gunplay, but...
Now, the only thing that makes me kind of think maybe is because remember when you see Mads Mikkelsen's character, his whole crew and him, they have AR-15s. They have guns. And it was a very distinct war setting with like tanks and shit. So it's weird. It's like, I'm wondering if there's going to be different settings or like basically the game's going to start off in this very like sneaking stealth way. And then shit hits the fan where they figure out either how to like fight like people who have been infected. Cause it looked like Mads Mikkelsen was like, something was wrong with him. Cause he was like, black blood was like running out of his eyes. So he's either infected with whatever these things are, or there's something else. It's going to be really interesting to see. Like, I mean, it's Kojima, so we fucking until we literally turn it on, we won't have any fucking clue.
Right. So we'll see.
Yeah. So with that being said, of course, last was Spider-Man. I just want this game.
Did this change your perception of Spider-Man?
What do you mean? Good or bad, or just
good or bad, or
I'd say it just reinforced the fact that I want this game so badly. It looks great. I love Sunset Overdrive, which was Insomniac's last game, which is one of the reasons why I think Marvel approached them about this, is because they saw what they did with movement and how well they did movement.
Yep.
And this just looks like they've taken that and fucking like pushed it all the way to the It looks really good. Like the whole Sinister Six thing getting introduced, that's great. The way he moves and stuff through like the different, like through the environments, the combat, like it just looks awesome. It looks like it's going to be a fucking blast to play this game because it's a character pretty much all of us know. And, it feels like it's really going to, and without sounding too generic, like you're going to feel about as close to Spider-Man as any game's ever been able to make it feel since like Spider-Man 2.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this game.
Yeah.
Nothing in the trailer made me go like, oh my goodness, this is like it reinforced that I was like, I'm already on board.
Yeah.
It looks like it's on the right track. They got the fighting and the movement down, which seems like from a visual standpoint.
Yeah.
I'm sold on the game. I'm just waiting on to hear like when it gets to like a month before it comes out.
Yeah.
To hearing like what's the last polishing touches.
Yeah. And will we find out beforehand who he was talking to?
Yeah.
At the end. But yeah, no, I'm ready for that. But yeah, that was pretty much Sony's. They kept it tight and pretty much was like, we're gonna show you the shit that we have gameplay for, and just kind of roll from there. Of course, last of course was Nintendo's, which was fun, just because it was mainly Smash Brothers.
I mean, you want to hit the other comments and then we just touch Smash Brothers real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest thing, one of the biggest ones that I'm looking forward to, biggest couple, I guess, that I'm looking forward to, biggest few, I guess, is Overcooked 2, Octopath Traveler, the Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, which that's going to be awesome to have a Monster Hunter game on the go. can't wait for that. That's great. Killer Queen Black was the one that stood out that I didn't know anything about going into, but I'm actually really excited for because it basically just looks like a more elaborate. Oh my God, what was that daggone bow and arrow game that we play at Jacob's house?
Oh, you're talking about
You know what I'm talking about?
Towerfall.
Yeah, Towerfall. It looks like an elaborate, more expanded Towerfall, which that's great because that game's awesome. The one that they started with, the mech game, that actually looks fun. I thought they had like remade an old Armored Core game at first, but then I was like, oh, okay, this is a new game, and that's
so it's a spiritual successor to Armored Core.
It's Daemon X Machina.
Yeah, Daemon X Machina,
Which
spiritual successor to Armored Core.
Yeah, which I'm totally down for that. We got to finally see Fire Emblem, the new Fire Emblem, the full-fledged Fire Emblem, which we've been waiting for that for a while. That's going to be great. But yeah, other than that, I mean, those were the main like big ones that they showed.
And then,
Of course, also, sorry,
Xenoblade?
Mario Party. I was excited to see that. That was cool.
Did they do Mario Tennis as well?
They didn't show it off because I think they probably didn't show it off because it comes out in literally like a week.
Okay.
But they showed off the thing that I liked when they showed off Mario Party was they like set up the mini game, like that little tank mini game, and then they put like two switches together, and then you could drive the tanks like between the screens. Like that, I was like, that's fucking great. Like that's so good if you have multiple switches. You can do all kinds of goofy like party game stuff. So that'll be fun. Like when all of us have like our switches, that'll be cool to play something like that. But yeah, of course, the big thing that they finished off of and kind of like the finish of the conferences for the whole E3 was Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Looks great. It was cool to like go through the trailer and then all of a sudden be like, okay, who's going to be announced and kind of like, who are we getting in this one? And then it was like, oh, you're getting everybody. And it was like, okay, like literally, like, no, like you're everybody you've ever played is here. And I was like, oh shit, like that's perfect. Like that's exactly what I wanted. Like we got the Ice Climbers back. We got Snake back.
Yo,
like oh my God, I'm so excited.
When I was watching the trailer, my whole idea was like, watching the trailer, I'm like, okay, we got Mario. Okay, we got Samus.
Yep.
Okay, we got Link.
Yep.
Okay, we got whoever, Pikachu.
Yep.
And then I was like, wait, Ice Climbers?
Right. Yeah.
I was
exactly.
like,
You saw Ice Climbers walk out. I was like, oh shit, yeah.
I'm playing around. Ice Climbers are back finally.
Right.
I don't even want to play as Ice Climbers, but they're back.
I love having them in there.
And then it was like Pikachu.
Yeah,
and
Pichu.
Like, okay.
It was like Pichu. We haven't had Pichu since Brawl.
Yo, and then I was like, it said Snake. When the box came out, I was like,
yeah.
Snake?
Yeah, I did.
It was like, we have everybody. They dropped Olimar.
Yep.
All the, like, pits. You got all the Fire Emblem characters.
Shulk, Cloud.
And their updated moveset, too.
Yeah.
And then they went Pikachu, Pichu, there's a Lucha Libre female Pikachu.
You got all the Links.
All three Links.
Yep.
I was like, Team Link, Baby Link, your mama Link, this Link, that Link.
Brother of the Wild Link.
Links,
yeah.
All Links taking everybody's stocks in 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Breath of the Wild Link has the remote bombs now.
Yo, like, and it looks dope.
Oh,
it looks dope.
I'm like,
and
it's
then
so great.
They did all that. They went through all the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wait a minute. They said everybody. Dr. Mario's in there.
Yep.
King Dedede.
Yep.
All these people. And then I was like, I'm missing somebody.
Right.
And then it did another little moment. It was like, Luigi.
Yeah.
Popped in. And Yoshi ate Luigi. And I was like,
yeah.
He ain't got the J's on. That ain't my Yoshi.
Right.
That ain't my Yoshi.
You're the Yoshi. You're the Yoshi.
So if anybody wants to get me something random, go ahead and pick up one of those Yoshis.
Yoshi Amiibo.
Amiibo or the plush, the nice big plush.
Oh yeah.
With the Jordan shoes on. All right, with the black Jordan J's on.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and find that and just send it my way.
Yep.
All right. And then they did another trailer, which may have been before all this, but I think it was after. And it was you got Samus, Mario, Kirby all walking up a little platform.
Yeah.
And they all get picked off one by one.
Yeah.
And then Samus looks around, and you're like, oh no.
Yep.
You know something's waiting on you.
Yep.
And you find out that they put
Ridley.
Ridley in the game, and they
Yeah.
showed off the smash attack, the ultimate attack, the
Yep.
smash ball attack.
Yep.
And it's literally takes Samus, throws her on the ship.
Yeah. And then
On
blows
her
the ship
ship
up.
flying in the distance,
Mhm.
in space, and then shoots a Dragon Ball Z
Blast.
I'm trying to think who's the best person with this blast. Vegeta's special beam cannon blast
Right.
that should have blown up space, time, and the continuum.
Right. Yeah.
And then you just watch the character smack the screen and then fall back.
That's so good.
Fall back to start again.
Yeah.
So, like, Smash Brothers doing all that was crazy.
Yeah.
The only letdown and super hype moment of it, Olimar was in there, was it's December.
Yeah.
It's December.
Yeah, a lot of people were thinking September, a little bit earlier, but yeah, it was kind of. When I saw the release date for Mario Party, I was like, okay, this is not going to be as early. I was like, either it's going to be next year, which I was hoping it wouldn't be next spring, but yeah, they kind of pushed it back to the last possible fucking.
And the way the game's looking, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mario Party's already high on my list.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I really just want Mario Party, Mario Tennis.
Yep.
Smash Brothers.
Yep.
Splatoon.
Yeah.
And
that's great. I love it.
Probably like Bomberman or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what else to pick, but
good stuff.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great because it finally delivered in the way that I wanted. I'm not a Waluigi fan.
Yeah.
He got suckered and made into a trophy again.
Yeah.
So people are a little angry about that.
Right.
They're making memes out of that. But it was just amazing to see all the characters that you ever used, mained, wanted to learn to use.
Yeah.
All that in the game.
Yeah.
And you're like, I instantly thought of all the battles with Jacob's cousin Chris or EU, Jacob, like anybody, or in the dorms, me basically challenging people to fight Jacob.
Yeah.
Like on the fly, be like, hey, they said they could whoop you in Smash Brothers, and then I bring Jacob down and hype them up, and then be like, you better kill him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
watch him like murder everybody in a room. Like it brought up so many fond memories.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Me losing a character one time.
Yeah. That always happens.
No, it don't always happen.
I mean, no, it happens to everybody. That's what I mean.
But that started the legacy of me trolling. Like, I'll pick your favorite character and fight you with your favorite character.
Yeah.
And I lost the character.
Yeah. Oh, and I got my girl Daisy separate again.
Oh, yes. You got your Daisy.
Yeah, because usually I just have to switch the colorway to her if I want to rock with Daisy, but now I have separate Daisy.
I'm curious about these echoes.
Yeah, the different, like, pretty much they're just like
But they said Daisy has a different moveset.
Yeah, no, that's basically what it is. It's basically just they took the characters that have, like, that were just like colorways in the last Smash Brothers and made them their own characters. And they have, obviously, different movesets. They have a varied moveset.
Ganondorf?
Yeah, he's got his sword.
Ganondorf.
He's got his sword.
He has his sword from Breath of the Wild? No.
Yeah. From
the new one.
Yeah, shit. From yeah. Well, no, because remember he was
whatever the new one.
Yeah, yeah.
His moveset, I wanna play as him.
Yeah, his moveset
because he's finally faster.
Yeah,
he hits like two trains meeting up in the middle.
Yeah.
Going at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And then he has range now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I can't wait to see somebody with them villain hands. I can't wait to catch somebody slipping.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, all in all, I think it was a good E3. Definitely had fun. It was good. It was a good time. Good to see all these awesome games and kind of set up like I sent you guys that list last week that just had like all the stuff that released in September alone, and it's ridiculous. So yeah, but But yeah, with that being said, guys, this has been episode 99.9. Hey. The E3 episode of OAF Discussions. Webb should be back next week on the next episode. So we'll be looking forward with that. And Shayna. And we will, of course, probably review Nas's new album, J-Rock's, and then any other ones that we come across in that time, and then talk about any other good stuff that comes out in between now and then. Thanks as always. I'm at K and Kid Swift on Twitter. Brent is at LLCoolB22.
Yep.
OAFdiscussions@gmail.com is where you can drop us a line, send us topics, talk to us, whatever you want to do. You can always post in the comments on YouTube and Facebook.com/group/OAFdiscussions. That's where you can find us at. Some good people in there. So join in that group and start a conversation. Tell us what your favorite part of E3 was, because we know we got a lot of gamers that listen and watch the show.
And if you're just a gamer, what is your favorite game? Like what is the nostalgic game of your choice?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it Mario Party? Is it Mario Kart?
GoldenEye? Party games, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, as always, guys, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it very much. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Until we meet again.
Ladies and gentlemen, that has been OAF Discussions. Please listen to us on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play now, Stitcher, audio episodes on YouTube as well. And so that's all we have today. Thank you very much for listening, and you enjoy the rest of your day.
Appreciate it. Peace.
There we are. OAF Discussions pioneers.
Quickly
confirm.
Make the meme and then put the @big thing on there with the stupid little graphic like every other goddamn internet comedian does. We got to get these views, baby.